what, Sava, you're right about a lot of things. Because that Conor Gallagher, I remember you two disagreeing on it. George was like turning his nose up at Conor Gallagher in the summer. Oh, it was beneath my club. But at the same time, Sava, what I find fascinating is one of the main reasons you wanted Thomas Frank. Huh?
The same Conor Gallagher that's not had a great start to the season. It hasn't.
He's better than the shit you've got in the 8, bro.
He's better than what we've got.
We keep saying this. You don't need someone to pass. You mentioned Sarr and Bergvall, they carry the ball. Yeah, you say with Arsenal's midfield, you have Zubimendi who passes, you have Rice who carries it. You can have somebody in the middle that carries it. The problem is, and again, with the stat that I'm using, my point is that the averages are going to be low for those two players because they've been young, they're building. Then you can't compare to someone like Bentancur, who's been, he's like 27.
That's not what the word average means.
I know what average means, Tab. I'm not fucking stupid. But my point is that the fact that it does matter because he's played 2 years professionally. He's had a season
and in those 2 years
before that, so his average is going to be low because only his first 2 years.
No, that's not how averages work. That's not how.
If anything, the average works against Bentancur.
No, Sava, you keep saying how averages work.
More.
Everyone gets how averages work. That's not the point. But ultimately, he's only had 2 years, so the sample size is a lot smaller. It's a lot smaller. And what are you going to do with a 2-year sample size as opposed to a 10-year sample size?
No, but I can't keep going over it.
You don't.
When you break down how Bergvall plays and how Sarr plays and how Bentancur plays throughout their careers, right? Doesn't matter how many minutes. When you break it down over the number of minutes, Bergvall is not a passer of the ball forward. But Bergvall doesn't pass forward at all. He runs with the ball. When you compare him to most midfielders in the Premier League, he's not a good passer of the football. Right? Now, people go, oh, get off his back. He's young. I don't care about his age. You're in the first team at Tottenham Hotspur. If you are not delivering something, you shouldn't be in the first team yet. When people use the age argument, it's not me putting them in the team. If the argument for somebody when they don't play well is they're young, then don't play in the first team of a team at elite level football. So Bergvall, for me, could he be good in the future? Yeah, I think he's got some good attributes. For me at the moment, when I watch him play, though, I don't know what the others fit. I watch him play and I'm like, I don't know what you are. I don't know what you do. You run around a lot. And the stats...
You don't like young players, though, Sava. Listen,
I think if you're a young player and you're a good young player, but do you know what? When young players are good and ready, no one mentions their age. No one mentions, look how good.
You're good enough, you're old enough. Good enough, you're old enough.
Yes, exactly. And the problem is Spurs, we've got too many players that play, and the answer for everything is, oh, but Odegaard's young, he'll come good. But Tell's young, but Gray's young, but Bergvall's young. Don't buy them then.
I don't think you can
put them out on loan.
I don't think you can put them in the same bracket as Odegaard and Tell. Them two are whack. But Gray and Bergvall, they're clearly going to go further on.
Yeah, Gray, especially Gray, Archie Gray. Yeah, he's the up there. He's the, you man are ruining it.
We've not seen any evidence of that either. We'll see.
Yeah, but you played him in like 9 positions.
Yeah, he needs. Yeah.
Huh?
You played him in like 9 different positions, man. Left back yesterday, centre back last season, right back. Yeah, you know, the poor kid doesn't know what side of the pitch he's meant to be on at the moment.
But sometimes, look, I think it's very clear. Like you said, if you're good enough, you're old enough and so on. If he was good enough in one position, he'd be used in one position. I think he's been versatile, and sometimes players are used versatile because they're not that good in one position. He's very, if you've watched him in the midfield, I don't think he's ready to play midfield at this level. The only time he has started in the midfield,
he's a little skinny. He needs a bit of meat.
He's very small. He's not fit. And you can look at Bergvall, he's physically ready. And that's where I disagree. Like physically and so on, he looks ready. Just on the ball, he has some gripes, and I think the same with Sarr, but Archie Gray is just not physically there. And technically,
wait, which one's Bergvall? The blonde one?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, he's shit.
He'd start for you guys.
The thing is, no, he wouldn't.
He would.
The thing I want to ask you guys.
He don't start for Forest.
Oh, he doesn't start. What, he gets in the head of Douglas Luiz or Elliot Anderson? I mean, come
Douglas
on.
Luiz didn't look any good last game, did he? He didn't look any good last game.
He did. But anyway, I want to ask you a genuine question, Sava. Because something you said about... Now, I'm being serious now for a minute. Let's be serious and talk football. Something you said about Thomas Frank, and one of the reasons you wanted him in was because he was a coach, because of the things he did with the likes of Mbeumo, with Tony, etc., etc.
You never rated him, though, did you?
I've never rated him, and it's Thomas Frankenstein with the way he plays. But just as a serious point, should you not be looking at some of these younger players and thinking, where's the development so far with Thomas Frank? Have you seen improvement? Because it was one of your pros that you put in the Thomas Frank box. Do you get what I'm getting at?
I see what you're getting at, but when I said 2025 personified, I mean, we're 13 games into his tenure. I mean, how quick do you think people develop footballers?
No, but I want to see something within that. I'm saying, for example, on the left, he's using Odebear a lot. Have you seen any
Odebear
signs?
Was good yesterday. Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
Did you think
Odebear was all right?
No, because you sit there and cook a guy, but then you sit there and said you watched the game.
I haven't cooked anyone. I ain't cooked anyone.
You're quick to say something bad about the players, but if you watch Odebear,
I haven't said anything about Odebear.
You was about to slight him. If you watch,
no, I wasn't. All right, here's what I was gonna. All right, tell me what I was gonna say. Go on.
You see an improvement. There has been an improvement. If you watch,
from game 1 to now 13 games in, have you seen signs of an improvement in Odeberg to suggest that Thomas Frank has been working with him, that there is improvement coming?
No, that's the problem, Wolfie.
They're rating him, but have you seen signs within it?
I mean,
he's shite, man.
He's neat, he's tidy, but he's got no threat to him as a footballer. Like he's got the worst end product. Like, and this is throughout his career. If you look at his career, he's got no end product, like hardly any goals, any assists in his career.
He's that skinny Adama Traore.
The problem is, Wolfie, right? When you're at Brentford, no disrespect, especially when they're in the lower leagues, you can take the time to develop these players and bring them through. When you're at Tottenham and you're in the Champions League and we're expected to finish in European place in the league, we can't have all of these kids in one team going, go on, Frank, develop them all. It's, you've got to have better. That shouldn't be our first choice left winger. Should not be Wilson Odebear. The fact that we've allowed it to be Wilson Odebear is monumentally. It's a monumental failure. The fact that we've allowed our centre forwards to be Matisse Tell and Richarlison is just embarrassment, right? There's only so much a coach can do. And he's been here about 2.5 months and we play every 3 days. Like, I don't know what it is we want to see in a player in 13 games to go, oh my God, he's turned him into Yamal. Like,
no, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying signs.
People will always choose to ignore as well. We actually have like 10 injuries right now to a lot of key players.
Oh, here we go, injury FC. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, injuries.
So some of those injuries are to key players that massively improve this attack. Massively improve this attack. So
yeah, you allowed injuries last season.
No. When Saka and Odegaard was out, I still had to win.
I think when you talk so much, it'd be hard.
No one that's out for you is more important than Saka or Odegaard.
Yeah, well, they are because we have Kulusevski out, we have Maddison out, we have Solanke out. We have a lot of players,
and none of them are more important than Saka or Odegaard.
A lot of players. Well, they must be because last season
I still had to win.
Contributed to a trophy.
Saka contributed to a trophy.
Has Odegaard contributed?
Makes a fair point.
I don't think so. I don't think either of them have contributed to trophies in recent.
I mean, I still had to win.
But my point in mentioning the injuries is to say that we haven't even seen the best of what Frank can do with his best players. So I think a lot of people need to hold fire.
Isn't Maddison out all season?
Players back because he doesn't have any natural goal scorers in the team. We generally don't. Solanke, Kulusevski, Maddison, you start to bring back. And Maddison's probably not going to be back this season, so I'd brush him. But especially Solanke and Kulusevski, you start to see goals in this team.
Do you rate Solanke, George?
Solanke's a good player, yeah, 100%.
Sav, do you rate Solanke?
He's
okay, isn't he? He's okay.
Listen, if you get to the age of 28 and you've had one good season in your career, he's all right. Do you know what it is? Like when players become better when they don't play because it's out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. Richarlison and Tell are so bad that they're making Solanke look like he's prime Harry Kane. It's like, oh my God, please, Dominic, come back because
I agree.
Of how bad those two are. But
I think this is the worst. Right. This is the worst Spurs attack I've seen. This is the worst Spurs attack I've seen ever.
Do you know when? Since 2001, Spurs had Raziak and Booth, right? That's 25 years ago. This is the worst selection
Andy Booth.
forwards
Andy Booth.
I've ever seen
He
at
the
Tottenham
Sheffield
since-
Wednesday one. Was he from Sheffield?
That's-
since-
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Sheffield
sounds
Wednesday and
disgraceful.
Huddersfield.
Do you know who
Yeah.
else was shit? Do you remember Rebrov?
Sergey
Hey,
Rebrov.
Sergey
Yeah.
Rebrov. Hey,
He
I
was-
know-
But Wolfie, I'm not talking about since 2001. We've had.
Oh, you're
some
talking as a
individual-
unit. You're talking
Yeah,
as a unit.
as a collective of forwards and wingers. Other than Kudos, all the others aren't good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. Not one of them.
So what is
You're
good
talking
about
about
Tottenham?
and the
What is good? Because your keeper's shit, according to the Spurs fan base, even though he saved
Right.
you
The keeper's
yesterday.
okay.
He's
He's
a good
all right.
goalkeeper.
I don't know. Deji wants him lynched. If we go on.
Deji
Yeah,
hates
a lot
you.
of-
man.
Deji says a lot of things.
Deji wants Frank
That's
out
just-
after 2 defeats. In
That's
first
standards.
game.
I hear where Deji's coming. But look, I look when I look at yours team, I see your 2 centre backs. I think are good. I see your full back, Spence. Obviously, I love Spence. And then I look at your midfield. I look at your midfield, and I think, okay, what's his face? The Portuguese guy's name's just literally gone from my head. Who's the
Paulinho.
CDM? Paulinho. And then outside of that, I look at the rest of your attack. I think it's absolute jack shit. In there,
Agreed.
man. Kudos
Agreed.
flatters to deceive at times. I think Lawless is right. He does too much on the ball, probably because he doesn't trust the crap that's around him. So
Can
you're
I-
almost playing
He's
with half
got
a
no
team.
one he's got no one to link up with.
Yeah, that's
Can
my
I-
point.
can I
You've
make
got half
a-
a team.
He's got no
An observation.
Be Xavi.
Can I make an observation?
Go on, John.
He's
Go on,
not
John.
doing
Go on,
it.
John.
idea.
Brooks.
And
Go on,
I'm
John.
not trying to.
4 games. Can we?
I'm
You
not
want
trying to get
Xavi
biased
to
here.
Eze, who's about 5 years older than him, by the way. You should have some
doing
shame.
it.
Isaiah
Have
10
some
times
shame,
the
though.
fight.
Let Joe come in, man. Let Joe come in.
Yeah.
Let Joe come in. Go
Go
on,
on,
Joe.
Joe.
I hear a lot of the time that players aren't deemed good enough for Spurs from the Spurs fan base, not from me, not from anyone else on the panel,
True.
from the Spurs fan base. Yeah, this guy is not good enough for Spurs. This guy is not good enough for Spurs. Is it a case of maybe Spurs just ain't that good?
Thank
Like-
you. Thank
No,
you.
and I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to trigger anyone. But when we hear Brennan
What
Johnson
players are you
not good
talking
enough,
about?
right? So Brennan Johnson not good enough for Spurs. Yeah.
That's very clear to see.
Right.
not good
I,
enough for
I
this
don't think
level.
it's that clear. He won a trophy for you. He won that goal.
You
Yeah?
won a trophy, but Joe, look, come
Yeah.
on, man. You've watched the guy of your eyes. You know he probably wouldn't even start for you guys. Let's be honest. He's
No,
not that
Brennan
good.
Johnson- scored last season,
would
no?
start for us. Trust me, he would start for us. Fucking
No,
hell. But
I get your point.
No,
but
no,
Hang
but
on,
there is other players.
hang on,
Right.
but this is where we get. This is where we
But
get.
Savvy, you've just mentioned one player, Kudus, who's good enough. Everyone else isn't good enough.
No,
for
no, no.
Spurs.
That's not, whoa. No. Hang
That's
on.
what you
I
said.
said
Kudus is the
I said
only
In the
in the-
attack,
in the-
in the attack.
in
in
the
the
attack. One
Right.
player
Okay,
that's
so
good
how
enough.
many players have you got in your attack? About 7, 8?
Six.
And
So-
only one of them's good enough.
Brennan Johnson, Richarlison, Solanke, Tell, and Odegaard. I don't think they're good enough. Now, Mawani probably is if we can get the boy fit and actually see him have a run of games.
I'm
That
just
would be
going for a
brilliant.
holiday.
But those other 5 I mentioned, we can do the banter thing all day long about Spurs aren't that good.
No, I'm not bantering.
in the-
I'm saying
Hang on,
I hear it
okay,
a
but
lot.
but in the last 20 years, we've made Europe in 18 of them and made 7 Champions Leagues. So when I'm saying that XYZ player isn't good enough for Spurs, those players are
So's Red Bull Salzburg.
What?
What?
So's Red Bull Salzburg. So's fucking, I don't know, Rapid Vienna. They make Europe. It doesn't automatically mean you're a great side.
No one said great. No, again, no one said the word great.
So what are
but-
you now, average?
But I mean, there's a lot of words between great.
Okay,
and
so what
average.
word are you then? If you're not great and you're not average, what word are you?
But
Good.
what do you mean? What are
Spursy.
we? What? Hang on.
Spursy.
But hang on. But when you say what are we, do you mean what are we right now with this squad, or what are we as a club? Like, what's the?
No. You're the one. Right. Okay. So basically,
I'm not the one that said what are Spurs. Spurs for me are a team with
we've
a lot
crashed
of
out
money.
one. We've crashed out one. Crash out 2 en route.
Spurs for me are a team with a lot of money that
John,
shouldn't be
John.
buying people like Brennan Johnson, Odegaard, Tell, Richie, and I can't sit and listen to anyone telling me those players are good enough for Tottenham Hotspur because none of you would want any of those players I mentioned in your squads. None of you.
Yeah, but before they came into Spurs, they weren't that bad.
Yeah.
What? Richarlison wasn't that bad before he came to Spurs. Brennan
Well, you
Johnson,
said Everton.
65 million on him. 65
Tell.
million.
Odegaard.
Oh, no,
Sorry,
Tell, I agree with you. Tell's even shit on FIFA, bro. Like, Tell is
sorry.
dead.
Which one of those were you impressed with before they joined Tottenham?
Richarlison at Everton was good for the way they played. Brennan Johnson scored goals for Forest. In the system Forest played, he's good. He can't play in the Spurs system.
Player, does it? Like you can score goals in a particular system, but that doesn't make you an all-round good footballer, does it?
Can I ask you a
I'm not saying he's the
Sava?
next Zidane.
Sava, can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
How many of your first 11 would you change? Goalkeeper? Come on, being honest, Vicario, you're not that big on. I think he's a bit of a bomb scare.
If I mean, yeah, Vicario, but that's not an emergency thing to do.
Right.
But
Okay. So what's an
said,
emergency
what
for
I
you?
want to upgrade on. I want to upgrade on the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We need a ball playing number 8 desperately. We need a top centre forward, and we need a top left winger.
Okay.
You need an 8. You need an 8 as well, sir.
So just 4. Just 4.
But
Just
when we say
4.
just the 4, I mean, that's if we're going to look at an 11. But then behind that, you've got to start building a squad of players, haven't you? And what we've done is we've built a crash.
So do you think it's fair to say you're overachieving then?
No, we finished 17th in the league last year. No,
but like what Frank's doing
right
now. Yeah,
right
now,
I would say we are probably overachieving or where we roughly should be.
That's why I don't get why there's so much issue. That's why I don't get why there's so much issue.
Jamie, shall I tell you why?
All right. I think Tottenham.
Jamie, shall I tell you why? I watched the Spurs game. Yeah, I'd had a long day.
Last point on this, and we got to move. We're going to move.
I hadn't slept much, but I ignored the Liverpool game because I knew if I put Spurs on, I would be able to get 90 minutes of sleep because they have gone back. I'm not even trolling here. They've gone back to playing like Conte. It is so boring to watch. It should be called Thomas Frankenstein, man. They are so boring to watch. And that's what I think the fan base, the Spurs fan base, are alluding to. Because if you're playing that boring football, you have to win. If you don't win, it's not acceptable. That's the black and white, the binary thing.
How do you play exciting attacking football then when you haven't got the attackers or a ball playing midfielder?
Ange ball, mate.
You did with Ange.
Yeah, and lost 22 league games doing it. This is where football fans have to start using their common sense a bit more. If Spurs start trying to play like we did last year, we open up, we concede loads of goals, we lose every week, and then what do fans do? Go,
you might win the Champions League.
I think what Thomas Frank's trying to do is repair the damage from last season. So he's been a bit more cautious the way he's playing.
Have you heard what Frank said? Frank has come out and said 1 million times, the first thing I've got to do here is I've got to build a foundation. I've got to put a structure into place, and we have to stop leaking goals. Yeah. He does that. And the Spurs fans go, oh, but we want to play better football.
But it's not an overnight thing. This is the problem.
Of course it's not
an overnight thing.
But that's his identity. This is the thing. The ones that don't want Frank know it's his identity. He's not an attacking manager. If you're okay with that, cool. But if you're not,
most goals in the league last year.
Okay, you can score goals. We scored 7 against Brighton. I'm talking in terms of philosophy. He's not an attack-minded philosophy manager, Sav. Scoring goals doesn't necessitate you have to be gun-ho football.
Sure, but you've got to have the players to be able to do it. You can't just expect them.
No, you're missing my point. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm not missing your point. I'm not missing your
point. Brentford have a better squad than you.
Who?
Brentford have a better squad than you then.
No, I'll tell you what Brentford have got though. What he has downgraded on is the forward line. Last year, he's playing Wissa and Buemo, Damsgaard and Sharda.
Yeah, the more explosive attack at Brentford than Tottenham.
Like Tell, Richarlison, Odegaard and Johnson.
That's
like, please watch. Sorry, Dan, I know you to move on. Please.
Yeah, go on.
When you next watch Spurs, watch Tell, watch Odegaard, watch Johnson, watch Richarlison. They are awful footballers. They might grab a goal every now and then, but as technical footballers, the ball goes up front, bounces straight back. Because none of them hold on to it. When it goes out to Kudus, he kills it stone dead. He holds on to it. He can muscle players off the ball. And then as soon as he gives it to someone else, ball's been lost, back at our defence.
Just don't operate heavy machinery when watching them.
Quality. We need quality, man. We need quality.